You're listening to the American Democracy Minute, keeping your government by and for the people. We told you earlier this month about the undated ballot case in Pennsylvania that could have national implications. The U.S. Supreme Court has now lifted its temporary stay, but there are now more indications that the court may not be a friend to the American voter. The U.S. Third Circuit Court of Appeals had ruled that mail-in ballots, which were on time but undated for a county election in Pennsylvania, should be counted, but the U.S. Supreme Court recently issued a temporary stay. SCOTUS blog reports that on June 9th, the Supreme Court rendered a decision choosing to lift its stay and not to hear the case, clearing the way for the undated ballots to be counted. Justice Alito, who had issued the temporary stay, also wrote the dissent representing himself, Justice Thomas, and Justice Gorsuch. Alito urged the court to take up the case and give a full decision by October in time for the 2022 general election. They argued that the lower court's assertion that throwing out on-time ballots without a date would disenfranchise voters was flawed and not specific enough. The dissenters also cited, among other criticisms, that filling out the ballot wrong didn't have anything to do with the voters' opportunity to vote and therefore didn't likely violate federal voting rights laws. For this election, it appears that undated ballots will be counted, not just in Pennsylvania, but likely around the country. Links to the decision and analysis are available at AmericanDemocracyMinute.org. Randy D. said democracy is not something we have. You're listening to the American Democracy Minute, your government by and for the people. It's not only the January 6th committee who has questions about security breaches after the 2020 election. Michigan's Attorney General is pursuing allegations in 11 towns in Michigan of voting machine tampering or the sharing of electronic data to third parties. The tampering was apparently instigated by local Trump loyalists who believed former President Trump's now debunked claims of voter fraud. Reuters and Michigan Live report that search warrants were issued and town clerks interviewed by investigators in townships in several counties. In some cases, unauthorized third parties were allowed to examine voting machines, and in other cases, equipment and data was taken off premises by the third parties. In Missaukee and other Michigan counties, a Michigan state legislator approached multiple town clerks asking them to provide access to their voting equipment. Trump won the election with 76% of the vote in Missaukee County. Lake Township, located in Berry County, was notified that the state intended to seize its tabulation machine. Berry County has also been the home to a crusade by its local county sheriff. Republican Sheriff Dar Leaf reportedly joined with local Big Lie proponents and launched his own investigation despite the protests of local election officials and an election margin which favored Trump 2-1. No charges have yet been brought against the alleged tampering suspects or complicit election officials. Links to more details on the investigations are available at AmericanDemocracyMinute.org. For the American Democracy Minute, I'm Brian Beal.